Good morning, friends. Welcome. Happy Sunday or Saturday, depending on where you are. And most of you will probably be Saturday. It's new project time. New project time. Here we are. G'day, paint liquor. Yes, I decided to do this girl. Don't know why. Just follow the muse. And this is what the muse told me to do. So, that's what I'm doing. Orange or... we might go orange. 2:35 PM Saturday. That is the exact reason why I do this stream, is because it is a wonderfully friendly time for the great people of the United States. G'day, Minimancer. Zoom out a bit at the moment. G'day, Ms. Dump. It is 7:30 AM on a Saturday for me, or Sunday, sorry. So there you go. Yeah, display model time. Yeah, I got some mold lines I got to pull there. I'll do that now, I think, before I get too advanced on this stuff. So there's still one or two Chronicles of Drunagor figures that I'd like to paint, but yeah, I'm feeling the display painting urge, so we're into that. I've completed all of the monsters for my game. I've been filming a playthrough, so it's been wonderful. Enjoying it very much. One figure I've got left that I want to do is the big dragon, so I had an idea for this girl. Well, idea is probably a strong way of describing it. I was thinking about how I'm going to paint this girl. And what I decided on was I wanted to be like she's getting corrupted. Slowly corrupted. And so she's looking for any means she can to avoid corruption. How do we execute that in real terms? I don't know. Have I got any good brushes left? What are you? You're a Raphael size 0. You're a Raphael. Yeah, might need to order some new brushes, Deno. We'll leave you for the moment, I think. All right, so I'm just poking around with colours at the moment. Nothing is decided, planned. I'm just going to go for a very orange skin tone. So it was a pretty full-on week for me. I was in New South Wales for the week. Unfortunately, I did not catch up with young Jared. I was just a little bit too busy. So, got home on Friday afternoon, absolutely exhausted. And yeah, I'm off to Tas in about 3 weeks, and then we'll have another New South Wales trip after that, no doubt. So it's all happening in terms of travelling, which under normal circumstances I think I would enjoy, but under the circumstances of where my job is right now, it's less than exciting. Well, it's fine, but for those who followed closely last week, I am still desperately trying to track down a copy of a game. If anyone has a copy that they're willing to sell, feel free to get in touch. G'day, Craig Zog. That game, of course, Earthborn Rangers. Alright. Let's think maybe a little bit here, Dano. Dave and Bucks keep talking about times of day and painting models to look like a specific time of day. And they're mad keen on it at the moment. Maybe I should do something similar. The Brisbane Display Painters Guild seems to be ticking along. The Discord's pumping. I'm, of course, not involved at all, which is good. Feels good to not be involved at all. I know that probably sounds funny, but it's good for me. Yeah, it's been a good little exercise painting those board game figures. I think I've talked about it before that I like painting board games figures just free the mind and just paint. Sometimes we get a little bit too wrapped up in, I need to make this look good, I need to mix these colours, I need to do X, Y, Z. Sometimes just waving your brush over a model is enough. Alright, here's a little lesson in display painting. That's not really a lesson as much as it is advice. Avoid like the plague a model that has closed eyes. Avoid it like the plague. It is extremely difficult to express how hard it is to get a model that has no eyes to feel alive. Just extremely difficult. Eyes are the old windows to the soul, all that sort of stuff. And so when you find yourself here with a figure that has closed eyes, you will find yourself struggling like crazy to get it to feel alive and feel right. I speak from experience. Squinty eyes. So what's scary is how soon the arc open is. It's approximately 5 weeks away now, I think. Thought I had plenty of time for that. And as it pans out, I do not. But I do have exciting news. I do have exciting news for today. Well, yeah. Exciting is a relative term. It's not that exciting. I'm picking up the 3D prints for my next diorama today. Today. I printed a mausoleum, I printed gravestones, I printed the church. Yep, the graveyard one. The models have not shipped yet, but Ricardo told me they would likely ship by the end of March, which means we're on track start the big diorama next month. Now, I haven't planned out my smoke machine situation yet, anything like that, but it's all happening. It's gonna happen. I love the name of this paint. Basic skin tone. What a basic bitch this skin tone is. Yep, the graveyard diorama. It's all happening. Got it planned. We've got a plan for it, which is exciting. I've got the base. I've got the foam ready to carve up the base. I've got plenty of sculptor mold for building the frame, or building the stuff over the top of the foam. I've now got my 3D prints. So we're on board here. We're on track. Now, people who weren't following along the stream where I talked about it, it's a big diorama plan with Chimera Models figures. It certainly takes a little while to dry, but I don't recall it taking days. It certainly does take a while. Yeah, possibly too much water. So the one thing I've got to think about for that project is just the wiring. How much wiring do I need to incorporate into the base? And I don't think it's much. Well, I hope it's not much. Or else I've bitten off more than I can chew. The mausoleum is hollowed, so it's going to have the smoke machine inside it. There's going to be wiring behind gravestones. Okay, let's go. Turn that pressure down, 'cause I can feel it, it's rising like a storm. Take on my knees, turn them around, take the pressure down. Bit of Fonzie. Take the pressure down. And I can feel it rising like a storm. I doubt there's very many Americans who would know John Farnham. He was a very famous Australian singer in the 70s, 80s. My parents are obsessed with him. He would have had one of the best male singing voices of all time. Oh, good on you, Benny Manser. I'm sure you're going to have an amazing time. G'day, Nurgle. Oh, look, mate. I would never complain about my life. I've been dealt one of life's great hands. Extremely good looking. Extremely gifted. Extremely tall, you know. Just all the things. So for me to complain about life, just a piss poor effort. We haven't done a glow in a while. Maybe we'll do a orange or glow or something. Oh no, let it dry, Dano. Fuck with. I can feel it, it's rising like. Yep. So that's just air right now. You can pretty much, well, how do I explain it? How can you tell the difference? guess you can't really. Good morning. I also like this mini. Let's hold on that for the moment, I think. Let's paint her hair. Kevin Bloody Wilson. Jeez, I haven't heard that name in a long time. I don't think I could recall any Kevin Wilson songs. No. Jeez, it's been a long time. He was big in the 90s, wasn't he? G'day, Dugs. Probably not. Regular viewers would know that I do have a tendency to just make stuff up as I go along. So far on this piece, what we've made up is that she's corrupted. There's going to be a fiery glow. And that's about the extent of it so far. But let's see. Let's see what we can come up with as we progress. Gold, always believe in your gold. Gold. Now that you're bound to return. We can still do that. That's still doable. Now I feel like Dave... Yep, good plan. I feel like Dave did a lot of gold on this. Did you do gold robes? I don't remember. Ugh. No, he did white robes, I think. White robes. Here's a Fruit Loop, by the way, Dave. His version of this is utterly ridiculous. The more I paint models, the more I realise I'm not very good. at painting models. And people like David are very good. Purulent yellow. Alright, let's get some stuff happening. What colour robes? Red robes, maybe? Is that DC's? God amongst miniature painters. Very lucky to call him a friend. He's a very kind man too, I will say. You know, people talk about how good he is at painting quite frequently, which is true. What they don't talk about often enough is just how nice a man he is. Alright, I'll lock it in. That's a great plan. He genuinely is just lovely. Like, he just wants everyone to be happy and enjoy painting models, which is a great mindset and mentality to have. Truly, we are blessed. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Why is my autofocus struggling so much today? We really try to get Dave on stream a lot because he just loves it. You know, he loves talking about models, and I struggle a lot to express much in general. He just loves it. He's a much better representative for Australian miniature painting. which is exactly his personality. Ah, that's good feedback, mate. Good feedback. Good to know. I doubt that somehow. He did that bit in gold as well, didn't he? Yeah. This is an interesting model, quite complex. A lot of little parts, little components. It's a good challenge, actually. I really think that all the Inner Kingdoms busts are quite well sculpted and utilize interesting surfaces well. You know, so lots of different textures and shapes. I'm sure many people have wondered this. Not many people have asked it, but a number of times in the background you can probably hear whistles, sirens. I live across the road from hockey fields, and I'm sure some people are annoyed by those sounds. Sirens and whistles, and occasionally people cheering. I love them. I love the sounds. It reminds me of my dad. Yeah, that's good. But I know maybe it was when I was filming videos where I was doing voice afterwards. When I was a little fella, my dad used to play sport quite a lot, and so I used to go and watch him. And then when he'd get home, this house would smell like deep heat, and so if I didn't go to play, I wouldn't be able to sleep until my dad got home, and I could smell deep heat through the house. It was a nice memory. Yep, Neon Knights is going down. The two dwarves, the wizard, maybe this. I think I set myself a challenge of completing two more projects, so it'll be this plus one other, hopefully. Does depend how much travelling I do. Yeah. A little bit of thought. So plinths is actually one of the hidden skills. I think choosing the wrong plinth, you'll just find that everything feels slightly askew. Whereas choosing the right plinth, it all comes together. I have a general rule of thumb, right, which is the width of the plinth needs to be narrower than the width of the widest part of the model, just fractionally, not a lot, but fractionally. And then the height, you don't generally want the height to be more than sort of half. Hello, Anik Roche. More than half the height of the model generally. This one I've broken that rule. Again, rules are meant to be broken, you know the drill. Um, just because I feel like it creates this really interesting um, dynamic where we have this single model. She looks like she's raising her eyes up towards the sun. Um, so the plinth sort of reinforces that she's staring upwards. Good morning, indeed. So yeah, but there's a lot of little things, you know, like the color of the plinth as well. This one's a light color, so generally you want to have, you know, light or dark depending on the atmosphere on the piece. It's reinforcing it. The shapes as well, you know, round versus rectangular. Just lots of little things to mull over. And I recall early on, you know, it's just a matter of, well, I'll just put it on whatever plinth I've got because that's all I've got. And so yeah, now I buy a variety of different plinths. I've always got, you know, different options I can utilize. Well, this one's that color. That's about the lightest I go. I don't really like light wood. I much prefer darker woods for plinths. Sure is. I would say 75-80% of my plinths are from Jimbo. Not our Jimbo, not Stonebeard Jimbo, but is this bit hair? Is that hair? I don't know. Cool. I mean, as always, right? Rules meant to be broken, etc., etc. My motto has always been experiment. You know, I've used quite a few weird plinths, including the one I did for the Wind Rider. one of my very earliest streams, actually. Was Windrider. Actually, I think we might do makeup. Which one? I did 2 of those. I would have been the green one because I didn't do that other first one on stream. Yeah, wow. Sure, we could figure that out if we went back and had a look at the number of years of service and then went to YouTube and looked at the times, the date stamps of the things. But I would say you're one of our longest serving members. Well, the Crusader was the very next thing I did after Camelot. So you must have joined just at the wrong time. What did I do after? Yeah, did I dive straight into Curse City after Camelot? I did, didn't I? That was dumb. Do a gigantic project and then, I might paint 120 models from Curse City. Or however many it was. Good figures though. Hey, if you're not following, CHK Studio is currently painting Curse City. I sold that to a dude in Perth, Curse City box. He was absolutely wrapped when he got them. He was like, "Oh my god, I didn't realise they were going to be this good." It's like, "Thank you, mate. It's very nice." Yeah, CHK is one of the all-time greats. Love that guy. I'm sure I've told on stream before that he was on stage with me at Monty. Didn't realise. Well, I didn't even know the guy then. But then afterwards, like 2 years later, he's like, "Oh, here's a photo of us." You legend, CHK. You absolute legend. Hello. Which diorama? What's your plans? What's your plans for the diorama? Apparently June 2 was amazing. Good advice. Scarabos has been doing some dioramas. That's right, isn't it? You've done a couple recently, haven't you? I absolutely have plans to come back to Monty. So there was probably a slim chance of that being this year. Okay, Jared. I was thinking about this year, put it that way. But my work situation has probably changed my. I wouldn't say it's changed my desire, but it's made me have to think about my expenditure a little bit. So yeah, I definitely won't be travelling this year. Next year, the whole crew, great man Jared, who's just joined, we're discussing travelling to World Model Expo, which is in Gay Paris. I don't think I did see your forest in the Discord. Can you share it? I do like looking at a diorama, so. Good one. Yeah, I'd love to be there. My experiences at Monty SMC a couple of years ago, right before COVID, were just really hard to describe how good it was. Jared went, and I was just like, Jared, how good is it, man? He's like, yeah, it was so good. So he knows what I'm saying. My camera is really struggling with focus. I'm going to set it to autofocus. I turned off autofocus rather. No. No. You are now manual. Alright. Focus. Oh, you're a fuckwit, Dano. No, not autofocus. Manual focus. Thank you. Manual exposure. There we go. Okay, now. Mission. Yeah. Jared sucks. No, I love Jared. One of the greats, a great representative for the Australian paint scene. Doing a lot more work than I am in organising the Australian community. Let me see, Scarabost. I didn't see that one. Good on you, mate. I love. Let me ask you, how are you finding the experience of doing a diorama like that? Like, are you enjoying it? Is it a positive thing? Like what's your feelings on it? Because it's a fuck ton of work, right? Yeah. And how do you feel about that one, mate? How do you feel about that diorama? Yeah, I remember the first one. And I would say that I agree with your assessment. I like it better than the first one. Um, I just realised that I didn't ask if you wanted feedback, so I will shut my mouth. But I like it. Good job. Well, I won't give too much, but yeah, I think compositionally, it's probably a little hard to tell exactly what the story is. You have, I'm guessing, orcs versus girls, or yeah, the orcs are the bad guys and the girls are fighting them, something like that. So it kind of works, but it's hard to see the narrative a little bit. Um, height variation is good, but I think the thing that's lacking and the thing that's hard to get right on dioramas is the sense of connection of the models. You know, if I look at their facing, they all seem to be facing sort of away from each other and not looking directly at each other. So yeah, it's the eternal challenge in dioramas, right? How do you have the models connected with each other whilst still recognizing that you have a front and a back of your diorama. Hard to do, but I do think it like it mostly works. And I really like the models that you chose to fight each other. You know, like I think that archer chick against the big dude, the wizard chick against the shaman, sword versus the jumping orc. All those things work, really well as a narrative. I just think the actual positioning of them is slightly off. And the other, well, yeah, I feel like the fact that some of them are at the back sort of takes away from the story a little bit. If you had instead of kind of three in a row or in a column, if they were three different fights in three different heights, three different locations, I reckon it would have worked better. But learning always, mate. Learning. that's the thing. The thing that you recognise is that your painting is where it is. You'll never be able to change that. You'll never be able to, do painting that is better than what you're capable of, because that's literally your definition. So if you're like, that's the best painting I can do, great. That's not where you should be focusing your effort. Your effort should be on, how can I get better at, building a composition, because the painting will improve. The painting will improve over time. That's what happens. G'day, Almost. What are you doing? Making breakfast. I'm good, mate. I'm just painting some models, so how could I be anything but wonderful? This model is from Inu Kingdoms. It is called something. I don't remember her name. Someone will probably say her name. It's no idea. There you go. Israel Illuminated. Oh, look. There's already many people who've done a much, much better job than I will be able to do on this figure. You know how I feel about that, Jared. And just in case you didn't know, I hate it. I hate the idea. No, this colour that I'm using right now is Orange Fire, a wonderful Vallejo Model Air. Mate, so I tell you, I was very busy, obviously, so I didn't get to catch up. But I drove from the airport to St Mary's, to Parramatta, to Wetherill Park, and then I also drove the next day from the airport to Campbelltown. And then from Campbelltown I drove to Penrith, and then from Penrith I drove to Annandale, and then the next day I drove from there to Pymble, right near you. I found out, because I'm starting to understand where everything is. That was the most interesting part of the trip, was I was finally getting to realise what Sydney is like. It's fucking massive. But yeah, I was right near Art Harmon. It's like, oh, should I stop in and see Jared? And I thought, no, I don't want to embarrass him in front of all of his work friends. It was a lot of distance covered, yeah. I was driving, and this is why I didn't catch up with Jared, because I was driving for about what seemed like 6 hours a day. Thank you for that, Thomas. That's amazing, mate. You didn't have to do that. Yeah. So it was good. I got to visit all my stores and meet all the teams and stuff, and I'll be back down there soon. But yeah, it's a fucking big place. But I'm starting to be able to visualize it a bit better now. Come and say hi, Mossy. Shy. Yeah, so probably the unfortunate reality, Jared, is that I'm going to be travelling a lot so that I can go around closing stores. Yeah. Hey, Timbo. You're amazing, Thomas. Some might say that, Jared. No, in Santium, I haven't found it, mate. I'm absolutely fucking devastated. I tell you, so it's fucking it's an example um, of my autism or whatever it is that I've got, because I just can't stop thinking about it. I can't, and it's fucking so aggravating. Like, I wake up in the morning and I check all of the places that I've asked to buy it. I'm just like, I need it. I need it. I can't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Why? Do you know someone in Santiam? You got a copy, mate? That's not helpful. That's not helpful. Yes, I can also do that pledge, and that would be fine. However, I've recently, well, in the last probably year and a half, 2 years, stopped backing a lot of Kickstarters. And the reason for that is I have had a real sense of mortality. Not that I'm worried I'm going to die right now, but my job has changed my perspective on a lot of things. You take for granted, right? I don't talk about my job a lot in here, obviously, but I've been working at the same place for 20 years. 20 years. I know all the people. I know exactly what I got to do. It has just been the solid rock of my life. And I truly, I love it. So, 20 years in the same place. And then recently to find out that that is now gone. Basically, is like a really weird thing to contemplate. Extremely weird. And I'm struggling with it a lot. What does my future look like? What am I going to do? How am I going to live? And I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yep. Business gone. And yeah, it's likely that I'll get a redundancy. It's not locked in stone yet, but a lot of people I know who are in a similar role to me have been made redundant. And that's probably going to happen. However, it might not happen for another 6 months. It might not happen for another 12 months. It might happen next week. It's part of the frustration I have right now. And so, what comes along with that level of uncertainty is like this concern of, well, will I be able to afford X, Y, Z in the future? So on the one hand, I'm like, I should buy things that I absolutely am convinced I want now, so that I'll have them when I don't necessarily have a job that is as good and secure as I have right now. But it's also made me very impatient. It's like, I just don't want to have to wait for things. But I was always impatient. I was always a fucking pest, but this has exacerbated it a lot, I think. So yeah, so I'm sitting at the point where it's like, well, I want Earthborn Rangers now because first of all, I don't know in the future if I'm going to have it. Opportunity. Thank you, mate. I definitely am not going to jeopardize my redundancy in any way if it's going to happen. But yeah, it's a decent chunk. So. And I'm not feeling like concerned, because I feel like I'm pretty employable, and the experiences that I've had over the last few years made me feel like, yeah, I'll be fine. But it's still just like a very different world for me to contemplate. What games have you bought in Santium? I'm interested to know. I have a whole Twitter stream every year where I talk about my top 5 games of the year, and it's everyone's least. Actually, everything I do with board games is everyone's least favorite part of my fucking social media presences, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm truly like feeling very comfortable with what will happen, and I feel, as I said, I feel very employable. I feel like I've got a great skill set. Um, my understanding of the job market is that it's a very good one for people now. But yeah, it's still just like 20 years of your life. I was saying to someone yesterday, my dad worked for Queensland Rail for 45 years. 45 years. He's about to finish. He's about to retire. He's actually closer to 50. He's 65, my dad. Started working when he was 17. And he's been there, the same place. That is a significant chunk of time to be at the same company. Now, I guess I didn't really plan it, but I sort of thought to myself, I'm going to be at this company for the rest of my life. Just like my dad. And now that opportunity, that option has been taken away. So yeah, it's just a little unnerving, unusual, unexpected, uncomfortable. I'm definitely not a boomer, but what are we, Jared? I think we're generation millennials, generation X or something. I don't know what we are. Yeah. Yeah, very close. I think 85 is when it ticked over to the next generation. Some good games in there in Santium. I have played Spirit Island, and I have done a lot of research on Wormspan. I played a lot of Spirit Island, so I can give you great feedback on that. Maybe we are millennials. Well, I sure as hell don't feel like a millennial. I feel like an old man. Buy me my Zimmer frame. Yeah, you're definitely a millennial. So is Mossy. Little millennial, aren't you? Yup. Oh yeah. Thanks, Jetpack Paul. I should add that. I don't know why. Maybe what happened? Why did I do that? There we go. Edited. Don't know how that happened. Sometimes I do a board game stream and then I forget to change it back. I forgot. I forgot about that emote. That's a good one. You should see the actual picture that one comes from. It's pretty bad. I don't know if I've ever shown that picture on here. Awful. I did see that. I'm not buying a lot of busts at the moment. Not buying a lot of things at the moment, as per our previous discussion. But I did get the Spira. Top 3 in the last 2 years. Well, that's a great question, but it's also one that will depend on the criteria. So I sort of judge games by 2 different things. One, I buy a lot of games to play solo, and then I buy a lot of games to play with my friends. And some games that are solo are awesome, but not as good for game with groups, and then vice versa. So if we go and look at my most played games over the last few years, Marvel Champions. Oh, awesome. King of Goblins. Yeah, I never painted that one. Yeah, Marvel Champions got a shit ton of play for me a few years ago. Something like 100 games, which was awesome. It's got Marvel characters. It's a good, pretty easy to pick up, and it works well at multiple players as well as solo. So Marvel Champions would be one of my top 3. Which, interestingly, is why I'm trying to get Earthborn Rangers, or one of the reasons, because it's got a quite similar gameplay, card game style to that. Was it Dejan? Jared? Is that his name? He was on a Spirit Crusade a while back. Oh yeah, Paul. I know Paul. So Marvel Champions number 1. Kingdom Death would absolutely be in my top games that I've played in the last couple of years. Obviously an inaccessible game for most, but easily up there. And then my next option. So yeah, this is where it gets interesting, because we played a fuck ton of games. Let me go and have a look at my app. I can probably show you this on here. This is my all-time plays. I've tracked most things since 2019 when I started using it. I didn't track it as much. I didn't track it all in 2023 really. Mage Knight, fantastic game solo. Marvel Champions, I stopped recording games of that, but it's definitely more than 56. Kingdom Death Monster, stopped recording games of that. I've got about 8,000 hours of that. Spirit Island, Valor, Project Imperium, Iceborne, Imperium, Blood Rage, Yuthia. Fuck, I've played Yuthia 9 times. Go me. Probably again, there's so many different like categories, right? For what constitutes a good game. I mean, do you want a good worker placement? Do you want a good area control? You know, do you want a good deck builder? Because there's lots and lots of fucking great games out there. I will say Gloomhaven was one of the best experiences I've had in board gaming with my friend Koki. We played through the whole campaign, even though I've only got 2 recorded there. We played it in 2019, right before I recorded games. So we played like 65 missions in that campaign, and it was just like a crazy, great experience. But it's very similar. Like I would either go Gloomhaven or Kingdom Death. I wouldn't go both. Probably Wingspan or something like that. Some, you know, nice game that's easy to get to the table, because that's one of the things we found is that we got so many great games, and sometimes the ones that we play are just the ones that are just easy and fun that we can just put down and, you know, play and not feel like we have to be giving our best to each time. Gloomhaven is, I would say, probably about 3 times better. Oathsworn is good, story is good, mechanically it's great. However, Gloomhaven revolutionised board games, I think, in many ways. It's a legacy game, so the game has persistent changes that occur as you play it, which was not new. Pandemic was the first major success of that, Pandemic Legacy, but what Gloomhaven did was took that concept and took it even further. It's very flexible when it comes to how many players you can play. You can drop people in and out. You know, it's sort of like that. And the actual card mechanics of playing the game are a little bit abstracted for what you would expect a dungeon crawler, but it's just amazing when you get to it. The core gameplay loop, and that's the thing that I think kept me coming back to Gloomhaven over and over, is just that core gameplay loop. It's awesome. Like, here's the thing, and again, I'm just gushing about games now, which I know everyone hates, but Gloomhaven, you open up the box and you've got 6 characters you can play, and there's 11 hidden characters that you unlock throughout the game, and you might not even unlock all of them. 11. So you're sitting there playing this game with your core characters, and you're like, yes, this is amazing, and you're falling in love with your core characters, the ones that you played with, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that character's decided to retire, and now you open a new box and a new hero has joined your party, and it is just absolutely wild, because opening that box to find out what character you've unlocked and how they're going to be different from your last one is literally one of the most fun things. So anyway, Gloomhaven, also more accessible than King of Death. Cheaper. All right. This is fun. Where we're going with this piece, I think. There's not. No. King of Death is the most inaccessible board game. I did not see either of those, mate. As I'm sure you've noticed, I'm quite bad at frequenting Discords maintaining friendly relationships, just anything that most people do normally without any difficulties. I'm pretty bad at all of those. Sure, mate. What did attract me to this model, Jared? You know, you need to take better photos, Mini Mensa. You continue to improve, mate. You continue to improve. I'll come back to you. Why did I pick this model? I don't know. It's just a nice figure. It's got some good non-metallic metal. It's got some good shapes. Thought it would be fun. Felt like painting a display piece. Don't know, mate. I don't really know why I pick stuff. It just happens. It just happens. In the words of Dr. Ian Malcolm, yeah, life finds a way. No, I do need to build a box for that. And I probably need to start thinking about that soon because I need to send that in about 3 weeks. So better start building my box. Build a box. Ole, 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 sing and build a box. Yeah, Sebastian, I appreciate your paint job on this piece. You continue to improve, so congratulations to you. The thing that jumps out to me for areas for improvement, I reckon you could make the green plate mail have some little sparkly bits to make it look like green non-metallic metal. And I think you could do a much better job of having a straight fucking line on your painted banner shield thing, because that annoys the fuck out of me. Why couldn't you just do a straight line? Do you know how to do a straight line? Just fucking get some masking tape, put it on there, and just fucking paint, and you're done. It's fucking easy. You aggravate the fuck out of me without a straight line, mate. You're killing me. Straight lines are fucking easy, man. Circles are hard. Circles are fucking tits. Straight lines, just get it done. Yeah, the green's nice. The green's a nice colour and it works. I just think it'd look way cooler if it was like a couple of them were shining, glinting, like metallically. And that'd be really cool. Oh yeah, you sent Shiv as well, didn't you? Let me go and have a look at Shiv. Yeah, see, Shiv is really good, mate. Like what you've executed on that as a little sketch is just your clear understanding of volumes and how they work, and um, that's spot on, mate. You can then take that and refine. It's awesome. Sometimes taking yourself away from the result and just painting will give you the best outcomes. pew, 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 pew. Alright, friends, well, I'll be heading off in a little bit. As always, back on a Monday night, barring anything unusual getting thrown my way tomorrow. And I guess we'll just be painting this chick some more. So that'll be fun. Yeah, nice little start. We're gonna do some evil red lighting. Maybe like a lava glow. I'm gonna do it from underneath the box. So this whole side's gonna be red glow, I think. And then we're gonna add some evil patterning on her skin. Like she's been corrupted. Well, yeah, Chaos Cultist isn't a bad idea actually, but I was more sort of thinking that she was being corrupted, and she was trying everything she could to stop it. You know, she's gone and grabbed a holy relic and she's now praying, please heal me of this evil corruption. This little thing on her hand, and all that stuff. And then Adam Mike. Look, Jared, I'm just about done with your shit, mate. I'm very close to just banning you for that rubbish. Not all of us want to paint rubbish models like you did. Not all of us want to ruin a great figure. A beautiful wizard. Not all of us want to ruin it like you did. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. Elevates it. Fuck off. The only elevation that model has is when I elevated to throw it in the fucking trash can, mate. Tell you what, you're fucking lucky I wasn't judging that fucking competition, mate, or that piece would have been thrown. Turfed. Gone. No. You know what it is, mate. I paint these cool models so that I can see cool stuff that makes me get excited, and little Deno goes, wow, look at that cool wizard. And then you give him a microphone and it's just fucking shit. Rubbish. That's fair. If you added LEDs, I would have liked it. Why don't you consider a lift? Maybe you could lift him out of the DJ tables. What do you think about that idea? Yeah. Just fucking shit from you. This is why I didn't come to visit you this week, mate. Because you're coming up with trash like that. If I wanted to be fucking offended by miniature painting, I'd just go and look at some of Benny's brown fucking Star Wars models. Don't need to be subjected to your rubbish as well. Well, let's just see. Maybe I'll be judging, maybe I won't. But if I am, rest assured that any fucking wizard with a microphone is getting... I'm going to bump you down to standard, and then I'm not going to give you a medal in standard. Don't think I'm joking, because I'm not joking. I am deadly serious. And don't call me Shirley. Yeah. Oh, look, I just picked up your model to have a closer look at it, and then I dropped it on the ground by accident, and then someone stood on it. Sorry. Sorry, my guy. Yeah, it's so I can fucking chuck out rubbish like that, mate. It's not my first rodeo, you know. Wow. You've picked the right market there, because Francesco will froth that. Being a guitarist, lover of music, he is going to absolutely cream, get on top, cream, don't you stop, cream, shaboogie now. I have to say, and I just giving myself a rap, which I don't often do, right? I'm sure you know that. People of regular viewers of the stream would know. I rarely talk myself up. I've done this in like 2 hours. That is crazy. That is crazy. But what is crazier, and what I appreciate about my approach towards doing this, like I had no idea what I was going to paint this. I had no idea what colours I was going to paint. And we've ended up with this. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I don't get it right every time. Like when I just go, I'm going to fucking make it up as I go along. Sometimes I just hate it. But geez, more often than not, it's just a delight to just experience it, the model as you go. That is, it's some sort of, I think it's a leather pauldron or something like that. So shoulder pad, pauldron might be the wrong word. No, pauldron's the right word, I think. That's the thing, mate. Being able to just get cool ideas from you legends as we're going has absolutely made my ability to adapt significantly better. But it's made me enjoy it even more fun. I don't sit down and I swear to God, if you fucking suggest a mic once more, Jared, I'm gonna post a microphone to your house. I will. Next time I'm in Sydney, I'll drive to your house, stand out the front with a microphone. 2 a.m. How do you fucking like this microphone? Yes, mate. I have plans to bring this to Arc. I said on stream a couple of weeks ago that I was going to try and get 2 more pieces done for Arc. This will be one. Don't know what the second one will be. We'll decide later on. Anyone else enjoy the Cowboys' Golden Point win yesterday over the Newcastle Knights? I did. Do it then, Timbo. Do it, mate. Work on something else. Forcing yourself into something that you're actually genuinely disliking is a guaranteed way for maybe you'll finish it, but maybe it won't be as good as it could be. Yeah, that's okay. I got 7 unfinished pieces sitting above me, tormenting me at the moment. And I was nearly going to grab one of those down and start painting that today. Instead, I started a new one. Because that's what my heart told me to do. And in the words of, who was it? Bonnie Tyler? Listen to your heart when it's calling to you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know what you're painting, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart. Good advice, that. Before you tell them goodbye. Maybe we should do some drop shadows. No, we're doing red glow. Red glow. I haven't done a red glow for a while. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Yeah. There's lots of things we, I think, overcomplicate as little toy soldier painters. Hoorah. No, Scaraboss, this is Dark Sea Blue and Purulent Yellow. Is the colours I'm using. It is hopefully, going to look like black at the end of it. Because I'm gonna hit it with some airbrush black. Hopefully. It is a nice colour, isn't it? Yeah, just in case you missed. The colours I said, Dark Sea Blue and Purulent Yellow. Where is Purulent Yellow? Where are you, you little fucker? There you are. There you go. It's those two. And I mix in a couple of other bits and bobs on there as well, but mostly just those two. Alright. I might take off. I'm starting to get hungry actually. Axon Blitz. This bust is from the wonderful Inu Kingdoms. Same company that does Nico Galaxy. It's a delightful bust. But their range of busts for Inu Kingdoms is excellent. I think I've done 4 of them now. This is the 4th one. Thank you, Carvok. Now I'll just ask on here again to all you wonderful people. Does anyone have your copy of Earthborn Rangers that wants to sell it to me? Anyone at all? You great people. Earthborn. Pay for shipping. Pay for the game. Forlorn hope. Yes, send me the link. I'll buy it. Link me, baby, one more time. My loneliness. G'day, Bucks. Yes, I know. There's plenty of pre-orders around. I'm an impatient man. I don't want to pre-order it. I want it now. I'm like Veruca Salt from fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm aware of that, but yeah. So I'll tell you why I like the game, the idea of the game. I never played it, but I'm sure it's great. It's a card game that's quite similar to Marvel Champions in that you have a deck that you are working your way through, but it's set in a future Earth where everyone on Earth decided, you know what, we've fucked we've fucked the whole thing. That's it. We've fucked the world, so let's all move underground and let nature take over. And so the whole Earth changes. May not post to Australia. When does the thing end? Ends in 1 day, 22 hours. Yep, I'll send him a message. Unfortunately, this item cannot be sent to Australia, but I could send it to one of my friends who lives in the UK and they could send it to me. Such as Nurgle himself. What a great man. Thank you. Anyway, so the Earth has been left and you come out of hibernation and you are a ranger, and your job, your task is to protect the natural Earth and change nothing about it, but just live in harmony with the universe. So it seems quite unique. It's just a deck building game that sounds fun, but the reason I'm so into it, the aesthetic reminds me of a game that was absolutely seminal in my childhood, which is a game called Secret of Mana. The deck building mechanics seems great, and for whatever reason, my autism brain has latched onto it, and I can think of nothing else, much to the chagrin of my girlfriend, who thinks I am an absolute spud. Don't you, Mossy? Yup. She's like, why don't you buy another game? I don't want another game. I want that game. Just buy another one. I don't want another one. I want that one. Anyway, I'm leaving it at that, friends. That's our girl for the day. Pretty good. We'll keep ticking along with her tomorrow night. Maybe Bucks will be joining us then. What do you mean, Timbo? Do you have the game at home? If you have the game at home, I'm going to murder you. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you're just talking about small children or something. Yeah, that'd be good, mate. I'll send the dude an email. Don't tempt me, Frodo. Yeah, I'm not good. All right, friends, have a fantastic day. Nurgle, send me a whisper and we'll see if we can tee something up if I win that bid. You're all great people. Thank you. Have a fantastic week. See you tomorrow. Big Dano out.